start the stream. Start the stream for TikTok. What do you want? Y'all want to play some craft? Like I'm introducing drugs? Oh wait, I can't say that on YouTube. I mean, I can, but they're not gonna like it. Unfortunately. Y'all exposing my TikTok analytics. Let me do an intro. Hi. Hello. Hey, what's up? What's good? Why does my screen look so orange? I don't know. My name is the Lavender Supernova. You already know that. This is Minecraft in the morning. Shit. I named the stream wrong. What did I name it? Bro. But no, that's not what I wanted. Whatever. We're going with that one. I don't want any of this. I want a new world. Because why not? I can't believe I named the stream wrong. And it has the wrong date. We'll count it. We'll count it. What should we name this one? Because that's what day it is. Hopefully this, like, the save isn't bad. I am gonna turn keep inventory on, because that's my one compromise playing this game, okay? That's my one compromise. What's our goal? To just chill. To just be. To just exist, for real. Y'all mind if I smoke? I've got a bad habit. I should have written down the conversation topics I had, because I came in here guns blazing. Please don't drop me nowhere, stupid. Don't do it. Please do not be nowhere, stupid. Come on. Okay. The custom starting gear wasn't configured because I don't want it. That's probably why. We got this beautiful coast. Oh my gosh. Is that a little island? Y'all know I go crazy for a little island. Some grapes. Dang, did we drop into Eden for real? Okay, and a village not far away. I'm just gonna immediately walk there. Bro. Follow Lav Soup on TikTok is the best save. And it's on the edge of a cherry blossom grove. This save is for the girls. This world is for the girls, not save. Oh, holy mother of pink. That's a whole lot. Hello, Mr. Kangaroo. Are you dangerous? Kangaroos are large, neutral marsupials native to the, these creatures have a unique locomotion. They move by hopping, sometimes be seen. Despite their appearance, they have strict herbivores. They love grass. They're not pushovers if attacked. With both of its feet, when slain, drop meat, cook, burger. They're tameable with 10 to 15 carrots. Or follow or wander by interacting with them. Access the kangaroo's pouch. Inventory by sneaking. If there's a melee weapon placed in the pouch, the kangaroo will use it. The kangaroo can use the Mouscatool? You can equip a helmet or a chest plate. Oh, they're gone. I'm coming back for you. 10 to 15 carrots, are you kidding me? I mean, that is a big animal that I'm convincing to be with me. Do you think this village will have enough? Flowers! So many flowers! I'm just a girl. I have to pick them. They're so pretty. I'm gonna have to make my house here. Because my inventory is gonna get filled up. Like, look at this. What is this? What is this? Tall blue? Oh my gosh. It's meadow sage. It's meant to be eaten. I don't want to eat a flower that's so pretty. It's like so vibrant. I don't even have a pickaxe to pick up that. So... just builds the house around it. Actually, just build the house around it. Big brain energy. Big brain energy. Just build the house around the waypoint. And possibly hijack part of this house. I didn't expect it to be so small. I know somebody's already living here, but I don't see him. Oh, there he is. Girl, there he is. Run. The ambient sounds are so pretty. Doop, 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 doop. Is it just me, or is it, like, going slow? Is it because I'm trying to break it with a daisy, or nope, it's just like that. Gotta make sure to take the whole tree. Wait, is this a special wood? It's magnolia. Regions unexplored is real hey, all them bird sounds. Let's calm that down. I have it on 5%, and for some reason, I can still hear, like, a bird yelling. Here was some I don't want to actually whistle in y'all's ears, because that's, like, horrendous to do. But at the same time, here come these birds and in one ear, and here's Ariana Grande in the other ear. So it's just in both my ears. Like, gonna place that there. When I say we're literally gonna do whatever we want with this save. Whatever. Wait, that's not how you craft. That's not how you craft. Girl, can you be a little quicker? I've played this game for 10 years and still cannot craft things too quickly. About 10 years. I'm about to have to start saying 11. It's my birthday this month. Wish Soup a happy birthday. I'm turning 23. So my terrible 20s are not over. Or what do I call it? My tumultuous 20s. And they are tumultuous. Deeply. And they've just started, which is the worst part. I mentally feel like I'm 35. Boop. Boop. I'm kind of vibing with like a garden terrace out front type of thing. And then we'll just build around this. This guy is our neighbor, but we're gonna have to build it like on those Minecraft servers where their main street is just people's, like, I don't know what is y'all's issue when you're making new servers, but why do y'all always make apartments and then crowd them like right next to everything else? Like, if there's a store center, right, it'll literally be like this block, and then you have that block, walk in between. Oh, here's the entrance to the, it's like, stop. If we're building a town, we need to get some serious urban planning in here. Okay. But anyways, what I came into this stream ranting about, right, is how the people on my 600-pound life, I'm putting it together, right? A lot of them are on disability. Like, and they're American, right? I'm American. They're on disability. And to get on disability, if you're really a disabled person or even a disabled veteran, right, is insanely difficult. But these people will sit there being like, I ate so much that I had to go on disability. And then I ate myself so much that my family needed to quit their jobs just to take care of me. And it's always in this I can barely breathe, I can barely talk voice while they're telling you about all the food that they shovel into their mouth. And at first I'm like, okay, so I get their backstories, right? I get their difficulties, their trials in life. And I'm like, okay, you use food to cope for, you used food to cope for so long that you did not notice that you were big. I did not like this location, by the way. I want to move. There's a man living next door to me right here, and look at that. He's already trying to look in my windows. Absolutely not. I don't want to live next to a man. But anyways, these people are on like disability. And you're like, hey, hold on, wait a darn second. Why am I watching footage of you putting essentially more food into your mouth in one sitting than I can in a week? And then you're also saying, I'm on disability because I'm so big. So that sounds like disability fraud to me. That sounds like every star of my 600-pound life that's on disability is committing insurance fraud. And we have, oh, a pillager tower. And we have evidence of it, like distinct evidence of y'all making yourselves more disabled. And I know what you're saying, well, they can't help it. Like, food is necessary. Yeah, yeah, it is necessary. They're never outside the house either. They're never just like casually anywhere else other than sitting at home. And it's like, if they weren't on disability, maybe I would be so much nicer about it. I would be so much like, okay, they're still managing their day to day life. But no, no. The other night, right, I was watching a dude who made his daughter drop out of high school, and she's 16, to take care of him as if she's supposed to be his little housewife. Like, are you joking? Are you serious, sir? You've gotten so fat that you were seriously like, no, no, my kid is perfectly fine dropping out of school to help shovel more food into my mouth. Do you know how angry I would be as a teenager? And that girl looked angry the whole time. Not angry, but just like passively defensive, like accepting her situation. How does the conversation even come to that? How does the conversation even come to dad's getting so big that I need to stay home and feed him because he cannot properly get up, wipe his butt, shower, or live without somebody's express aid? Like, you're telling me that you're at the, like, do you not even just like feel hunger just as a curious thing? Because I'm thinking these people don't even allow themselves to feel hunger. And they do say, right, that it's an emotional pain, right, that we wouldn't understand. These people are emotional eaters and we don't get it. And I'm really trying to see the empathy in what I'm realizing these people are doing. They create a network of enablers and co-writers essentially to help them steep in their self-victimhood, right? They just, their kids, I understand. I can understand a child having this rigid mindset of, no, I have to do what they say or they're going to be upset, right? Because that's just the dynamic in the modern day, right? They could have been mobile enough to whoop their kids when they were younger, so their kids are afraid, okay? But their partners, first of all, I don't trust any of the men. I don't trust any of the male partners. I don't trust not a single darn one of them. You can tell that they're feeding their partner to keep her immobile and within their lane, right? Because every single wife or girlfriend that tries to go on my 600-pound life to lose weight will be met with her biggest hater sitting right next to her. Now, there are some examples of their partners being like, I genuinely love this woman. I don't want to see her die. Like, I'm ready and committed to this, right? But that is a very, 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 very sparse majority. Most of the partners on here are like, yeah, I'm fine with them basically dying. And that's the type of network they surround themselves with. You have to be so incredibly careful who you keep in your circle, right? It may feel good to have friends that constantly agree with you, are constantly on your side. And I'm not saying to like be friends with people who constantly like brush up against you, right? There are aggravating people in this world. I'm not telling you to be around them, but I am saying if your whole network is just, oh my gosh, I don't even know. Because nobody in my life would even bring me a plate of food if I were bedridden. And some of these people in my 600-pound life have like living bugs on them. They have skin open because I'm not even gonna deeply and sharply go in. What is this? I'm not gonna like sharply go into it because it is nasty. But then they're like, yes, and my son, he has to wipe my butt every single day. And that's just how it has to be. No, it doesn't. 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 I want to make a house right on that forest edge because it looks cool. It's like, no, it don't. It don't have to be like this. You're purposefully doing this. They can't help it. They're in pain. Yeah, and I get that. But at the same time, you're 600 pounds and you can't move. You literally cannot go to the bathroom without having a panic attack about getting stuck in the door. And that brings me to my second point, right? All these, my 600-pound life people, have partners, have spouses, have children. Hell, some of them even have multiple. They have multiple marriages, multiple kids. Most of the women, right, were fast. Most of the women were fast, okay? And I can use the definition of the word fast. So, and yet again, I try to like I cap myself because I can use the word fast. That's what they were doing. They was being fast. Okay, most of the my 600-pound life women were like, yeah, when I was just 300 pounds, I was getting up every 2 seconds to go get my coochie rocked. And you're just like, huh? What? Girl, what? What? But you have to understand that that comes from sexual trauma. And it's like, how much of this can we excuse? How much of somebody's issue do we excuse before we're like, that's quite enough, right? Because then when looking at decisions in my own life, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I'm the perfect person. I make the right decision all the time. My trauma doesn't play a part. It deeply does. It deeply does. And I'm trying to be consciously aware of that, which, is a tall order from this modern world. Y'all already know. But you're 600 pounds, right? My heaviest, I was 270, no, 260, 260. And even then, I think like we're gonna round that number up and say that my heaviest is 300 pounds, right? That would have to be months of no exercise, eating specifically fast food and all the sweets because I have a huge sweet tooth. In order for them to be 600 pounds, you have to eat, like, you basically have to take as much calories as you possibly can in a day, every day, for years on end. And it's like, that's expensive. Even if these were filmed like 10 years ago, eating like that would be expensive. That would still be expensive. I think my 600-pound life is an interesting show because what it doesn't show is more interesting than what's currently on your screen. Because you currently see somebody who has constructed an entire life around their inability to be a functioning human being. And I just think that's crazy because at the same time, right, there is Amberlynn Reed drama currently kicking off, which oh my gosh, I could talk about that for days, which by the way, I hate the internet saviors that are like, guys, why are you talking about internet drama? What, do you have no lives? What, do you have nothing to do? What does this mean? I'm employed. It's like, okay, girl, this is not a puritanical society, Jebediah. You don't need to prove that you're the hardest working pilgrim. Okay, some of us just see things on social media. You realize that, right? What does this mean? I'm employed. What does this mean? I'm employed. Yeah? And who gives it? What does this mean? I'm employed. And then y'all just use that to describe current events. Even though Amberlynn Reed is not a whole current event. But anyways, at the time of this stream, not 8-8, it's 8-9. I just titled it wrong on YouTube. Amberlynn's aunt has came out to be like, yeah, this, and this, and this, that, and that, and she was lying about this, and I haven't finished the full video from Karina Kaboom. By the way, if we're talking about peak girl world creators, you need to watch Karina Kaboom. Why? Because her uploads are quick, they're regular, and her videos are very good quality, they're very good length, right? They're very explanatory. She's usually the first person I hit up for the information because she's very clean, she's very concise, right? She's the one using the most caution because Amberlynn loves striking people. She loves taking content down about her, loves taking everything possible that says that she's a bad person off the internet. But bro, just hearing her aunt on the phone, everything immediately clicked. I'm like, oh, the whole family are a bunch of I don't want to say narcissists, because what I really want to say is autistic narcissists, because most locals are autistic narcissists. And I'm not saying that as an insult. I'm saying it as somebody needs to do a clinical study on these people who continuously make content about their own lives as their personal drama. And then with the Amberlynn Reed stuff, right? You have her aunt coming on being like, yeah, she lied about this, she lied about that, ahaha, ahaha. She's kiki keying with somebody in the background about spilling her niece's interpersonal drama on the internet. Like, what? You sound like you have wrinkles in your throat. I can hear it. Why are you on the internet doing interviews with Oh Lordy, it's Jordy? I'm not defending Amberlynn Reed. I am saying that that whole family lacks tact. Where is the tactfulness? Where is it? Where is the composure? Where is the decency? Okay? The stuff she's exposing Amberlynn Reed, right? First of all, I'm telling you, she better expose something nice and juicy for her to be coming on here at all. Because what this all reads as an attempt to get attention, right? That's what Tommy's whole MO read as just an attempt to have attention on the internet, which, oh my gosh. I I don't want to call anybody a clout chaser, but that is exactly the right reaction. Because if Amberlynn Reed was this horrible, awful person, why on earth wouldn't you have felt the need to expose them before it was a benefit to expressly you? That's so weird that she's had her channel for years and years and years and years and years, and you, the surprise family member, are going to surprise show up and be like, yeah, she was an awful person. Like, girl, you had a falling out 5 years ago. You don't even hang with her for real. Like, what the heck? To come out and be like, yeah, she lied about this, she lied about that, and it's not even anything serious, right? She lied to them saying that she had a job and that the job doesn't allow them to bring lunches, right? A pathological liar will, in fact, add clarifying details to make themselves seem more credible, right? If I tell you I got up this morning and I had eggs and toast and bacon, but my stove wasn't really working, and that pisses me off, by the way, that I just want to make my breakfast for real, and I cannot even turn my stove on. Like, it's really finicky. You have to click it to the left and then to the right, and by the time my eggs were supposed to be scrambled, I'm like starving, I'm starting to stream, and you don't even realize that I'm lying to you because I can just trail off with whatever clarifying details keep you hooked, right? She probably said, oh, they don't allow me to keep my lunch, as an excuse for why she's eating so much in front of them now. I guarantee that was probably the reason. Like, oh, they probably noticed, like, hey, aren't you trying to lose weight? Why are you eating so much at this dinner? Because Amberlynn, she tells functional lies. They're usually to hide something or to cover something up expressly. And I will say she's not that good of a liar. She lies with the capacity of a child. And she doesn't realize it, but like, people, when you lie, your facial expressions go crazy. Your body movements go crazy. Like, and not in no like, oh, that's pseudoscience. That's pseudoscience. Oh, microfacial movements, that's pseudoscience. Girl, no, it's not. No, it's not, because humans express ourselves. Humans are really good at expressing ourselves. We're social creatures. Anyways, humans are really good at expressing ourselves. We're social creatures that are meant to be communally social. Therefore, yes, your body language gives away so much about you. And I'm just, during her lives, she has this very mean girl this childlike mean girl energy. And it's very much like, I know that you snuck out last night. I'm gonna tell mom, unless, of course, you give me $10 to not tell. Like, the way that she was like, tell them about your cat, Rarity. I mean, tell them about your cat, Tommy. What if I tell them about Princess? One thing about people with information that want to actively use it against people is that they don't need to announce that they're actively using information against them. That's not how blackmail works. Oh, I was about to cuss. I was about to cuss. See, I caught myself. I swear like a sailor, by the way. If you didn't know, I swear casually. Like, I don't think it's a problem just because sentence enhancers, bro. You know what they say? Intelligent people swear a lot. And I'm one of them. I'm one of them people because it's not that I get like emotional, right? It's that the descriptive language is not strong enough, right? I can't just call somebody a low-life little lazy narcissist who keeps taking advantage of their partners in order to get their own needs met while at the detriment of those partners and while still framing themselves as victims, Amberlynn. But I would completely forget what I was saying by the end of that. Y'all know that when I go in to insult something or somebody, I'm going to be descriptive and long-winded, right? That's why we shortcut and just use a cuss word. That's why I just call you a dummy. Because if I gotta do a whole exhortation and a whole a whole dissertation on why you suck, you're gonna say that, oh my gosh, you have so much to say about this. Yeah? Some of y'all don't have nothing to say about anything, and it shows. I could talk about this chicken for the next 2 hours. See, he walked away because he didn't want that smoke. He didn't want any of it. But it's like, oh my gosh, watching this woman literally break down in tears 1 second and then randomly collect herself when she has something smug to say. Like, look at this. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at that. Oh, isn't that. Like, it annoys me when people try to be intimidating, but they're not scary. Like, at all. Like, first of all, Amber, you look like a big child. You look like a big toddler. She looks like a big old chunky fat toddler, like just like an inflated toddler, right? She moves like one. Her movements mirror that of a child with no motor skills. What are you gonna do that's threatening? Nothing. Nothing. She keeps saying, "There's a lot I could say. There's a lot I could say. There's a lot. There's a lot I could say." By the way, that accent that you're hearing is a mix of California and mashed up Midwestern. Because she said literally, because she speaks with the conventions that I do. I'm from Southern California. Like, I'm about an hour or two from the valley directly, which is why my voice sounds like this. Right? I'm never gonna tell you directly where I live, but I'm near the valley, right? I'm SoCalian. I'm SoCalian. She uses the same, I don't know, like method of speaking that sounds Californian, but she's putting an exaggerated Midwestern accent over it. That's where we get literally goral. That's where we get that's why she said like literally so much. You'll notice me doing that too because that's like literally a Californian thing. And now that I'm aware of it, I can't stop saying it. But she'll say things with that fake Midwestern accent, trying so hard to pronounce things wrong to be cute or quirky, and it's like, you're 30. You're 30. You're 30. You're 30. You're 30. And you're still bouncing from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship as if you have no idea what's going on. Trying to be like, oh yeah, and Tommy, she sat there and she really enjoyed me eating a cheeseburger. Like, first of all, I knew they were not done when she kept calling Tommy her girlfriend and not her ex-girlfriend. The language that people use is incredibly important, you know? Like, you know how on those those true crime, like TV show types where they're like solving crime and it's a police procedural. Um, they'll be like, why is this person talking about this missing person in the past tense? As if they're already like dead and gone, dead and gone. Why are they already talking about this person like they're gone for real, using past tense language? But no, if that was like the girl who did you horrendously dirty, did you so wrong, you would use X, 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 X. You wouldn't use current present language. My girlfriend, my girlfriend, my girlfriend, my girlfriend. By the way, don't trust a single ding daggone thing that comes out of Amberlynn Reed's mouth unless it has been verified by at least 2 other people, because she is lying to you. She has admitted on several occasions that she purposefully and intentionally lies. In fact, every year we get some type of video of her being like, hey guys, so this is all the lies that I told you, and I feel really bad because I just lied because I thought you guys would like be mad at me or disappointed in me. Like she's a toddler. Like she's a toddler. And namely, like it's our fault that she had to lie. My gosh. And now it's between her and Emily trying to battle it out for who's worse. And I'm just over here like, boy, you're both awful people. You know that, right? You're both over here, like, what is that? You're both over here trying to play the internet, right? And it's the same thing with like Bree and Santos and their content baby, right? Them being like, ah ha ha ha, see, ah ha ha, see, it was a skit the whole time. See, ah ha ha, it was a skit and you guys fell for it and you guys are so stupid. You guys are so stupid. It was all a skit. It was all a skit. And it's like, here's the thing, bro. She's trying to pivot so hard away, being like, oh, yeah, I played Ash Trevino. Oh, yeah, I played her. Yeah, I'm a bad person. Yeah, I did it for content. Yeah, I'm doing all these things. Admitting it as if playing the villain is some type of revolutionary thing. And when I say revolutionary, I mean in her head, this is such like a novel concept. I'm going to pretend to be a super unlikable person doing super unlikable things and then repeatedly expose myself for being fake. That's the problem, girl. You can only do that so many times before the internet remembers that it's just fake. And they keep trying to be like, no, we are gonna have this content and it's gonna be our lives. And I'm like, girl, oh my gosh, I don't even keep up with Ash Trevino anymore. I don't even. I'm employed. What does this mean? I'm employed. What does this mean? It means that you're out of the loop because social media takes about 2 seconds to catch up with. And it also means that you're not special just because you don't use social media. Those people who are like, I'm employed, what does this mean? Like, they give the same energy as the, oh my god, I'm so cold. I'm just cold all the time. Girls. They seriously give that energy of like, oh my god, I don't know why. I'm just like so cold. You should give me your sweater. Like, I can't even. Those girls are horrendous. And that's what energy y'all give when you're like, I'm too good for internet drama. Girl, no, you're not, because you're still here on this page as it's being explained. If I see your comment, I'm unemployed, what does this mean? That means you're on the page where the thing is being, like, explained, bro. Like, you're employed. You're not stupid. Like, I figure they hired you because you know how to pay attention, correct? Like, oh my gosh. Oh my god, what's this drama about? What's this drama about? What does this mean? I'm employed. What does this mean? If you were truly employed, you would not even care to ask. What is an employed person doing thinking of internet drama? But yet again, that is a semantic argument started by semantics. Because nobody can have a joke on this app without it. This app, girl, YouTube is here too. Let me just say that YouTube Shorts, they are far nicer, right? They're far nicer. It's like the sanitized version of Reddit, essentially. People are just straight up informative. right? They may have their little slit comments, but like the direct outright hatred that is on TikTok is not as common because people that waste their lives are using TikTok. People who want to waste time in their life use TikTok. YouTube Shorts is much more calm. It's not as flashy. There aren't ads. I just noticed that there aren't ads. I mean, maybe it's because I have YouTube Premium. By the way, yes, I do pay for YouTube Premium. Why? Because I use YouTube Music as my Spotify. Because I use YouTube basically as much as I use TikTok, if not more. I literally. Oh my gosh, girl, I thought that was a big monster. I thought that was a creature. I mean, it is a creature, but I thought it was like something something that was gonna harm us. Girl, that derailed me from my whole thought. What is this? I should have ran up, not walked up, but whatever. Is that a white whale? Wait a minute. I need a boat. Cause they're dropping hella loot over here. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Craft a boat. Craft it faster. Why do you have so many things in your inventory? Oh my gosh. Quick, 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 quick. Drop, 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 drop. Actually, why am I hurrying? I have 10 minutes before everything despawns. Bro, it's a white whale. Somebody call Moby Dick or oh, there was just a massacre here. Wow. It is Moby Dick. Look at his face. Bro, we found Moby Dick. And they're friends with us. Oh my gosh. I feel so enlightened right now. If I hop out of this boat, they're gonna try to kill me. Look at him. He's so pretty. You're such a pretty whale. You look so aggressive. Oh my gosh. Y'all, in the stream, I guess, we found Moby Dick time to find the Fountain of Youth next, I suppose. Dang. You're out here employed. I'm out here finding myths and legends. Like, please. Please. I forgot which drama I was talking about. That therapist drama, I don't think that woman is any part sane. I think she had a mental break somewhere along the line, but is trying to sustain it. But at the same time, right? Somebody is just like, she's just being a male stalker. She's being essentially what male stalkers do, but she's using white women tears to make it a public affair as a way of saying, look at me, I'm suffering, shouldn't somebody help me? And the whole situation is violently uncomfy. Dang, that was, how long were y'all out here murdering squids? That was ridiculous. That was a little much. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I just think that woman had like an ego death without realizing it, and then rejected what she thought. I don't think she was ever actually in love with her therapist either. I think she's using that man as a way of detracting from her actual issues and problems, which is, let me guess, she probably started seeing him right after she went through a horrendous breakup, after she was already hurt by a man, which, by the way, I don't know what her name is, but that lady that came on here to be like, well, I'm not a psychologist, but I think that somebody really needs to get the 411. If somebody needs to really give the psychiatrist scoop on this. And my husband is a psychiatrist. And like, I can see why people are just so in love with him. He's like sweet and kind and empathetic and caring. And you can see her practically like getting wet while talking about it. And it's like, that is so great for you to talk about your wonderful ass husband. But don't you think that y'all getting on here being like, oh, I fell in love with my psychiatrist too, and then bringing out your spouse is just adding to the narrative that this was love, that she's feeling, that she's just feeling infatuation. She's not feeling infatuation, she's feeling control. She wants control over that man, his actions, his time, his energy, and is having essentially a narcissistic collapse that she can't get that from him. Stop coming on here to be like, oh, you're having a mental health break? Well, here's what that would look like if you were actually sane. Here's my wonderful, my amazing, kind, empathetic husband. And I'm like, bitch, shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up. You're making this worse. You're making the stigma, you're making the popular consensus sound as if this is love. It's not. It's not. But furthermore, why are you hopping on here to talk? It's always the women that are like, my husband is a blank, so that constitutes me having enough knowledge to be here. And it's like, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. If your husband is a doctor, you didn't go to med school. If your husband's a lawyer, you didn't go to law school. If your husband's in the military, you didn't go through training unless you actually did. Unless you too are his role, like unless you two share his position, like you are not the one to be hopping on here talking about X, Y, and Z diagnosis. This is what I think she has. This is the most popular signs of woman, lady. You are not a psychiatrist yourself. You hopped on here to dry brag about your husband, which, by the way, I don't trust no lady that brags on her husband. I really do not. Because if your husband was something good, you wouldn't even notice him and we wouldn't know about him. The best type of man is a quiet one, okay? My God. And you can really flip that back on me and be like, oh my gosh, but what if a man said that about a woman? It would be comical because it already is being said. It's what had been said for 100 years. Don't pull that. I'm a black queer woman. Do not pull that if the roles were reversed. Girl, the roles have been reversed. That's why it sounds egregious to you when I say it the other way around, that men should be quiet. Oh my gosh. But detracting from that and detracting from my own point, right? If your husband is a psychiatrist and the one who's qualified to talk about what this woman may be experiencing, why are you the one to hop on here to convey information by proxy? It very much gives that you just wanted the attention on social media for yourself. And I would not use the word clout chasing here. I would just use the word attention seeking, because that's what most people are. Most people are deeply attention seeking. Is this a nice shade? And it's like, what about you? What about you? Why are you on social media? Because I genuinely like sharing what I do. I'm genuinely just here because I like being in here. Actually, if I think about it, the reason I make content is literally just as shovelware for my yap sessions. So, you're contributing. I don't want attention. Not in that way, right? When I talk about drama, it's not to insert myself as the expert opinion. It's just commentary. But these people stepping on to be like, yeah, my wonderful, beautiful, amazing, pookie hubby, he gets clients falling in love with him all the time. It's like so obnoxious and annoying. And you can see them with their smile curling at the lips to just be like, yes, this is my time to prove that I'm better. I'm better than every bubble blowing baby in the bar, right? Because this woman may be going crazy on social media, but I have the real thing. And it's just, bro, I grew up in a sorority type setup with all women, right? All women, all judgment, all the time. Brought to you by insecurity issues near you, misogyny all the time, not for free. And the way that this woman, see, in my expert opinion, from having grown up around women but never having studied them professionally myself, is that you're just on here trying to prove that you're better. By the way, no matter what happens, no matter there could be an active crisis going on, there will always be some lady talking about how her husband is just the best thing since sliced bread, and we all need to believe her. We all need to believe her. Her husband is the best thing since Pop Tarts were invented, and we all need to get on the train. Because, here's the thing, right? When I have partners, it's not that I don't brag on them. It's just that there's rarely ever a conversation where they actually come up, right? And if we could step out of the nuance for a second of like, oh, you're jealous because you're single. Oh, I'm single on purpose. I literally cannot step out this house without not becoming single no more. Okay, bro, I had to quite literally turn into a hermit, cut people off. My problem is that I make friends and partners too easily. In fact, it's actually a really bad issue with boundaries. It's not that I let just anyone in. It's that I attract the baddest bitches known to man, and I love bad bitches. That's my problem. It's a, it's a mental illness, bro. It's a mental illness. It's not my fault that straight girls love to consider me to be their boyfriends. It happens so consistently, bro. I'll get like a straight friend, and I know they're straight because they ask me about that. I tell them about my sexuality, right? I ask them, right? Most of the time they're straight or have currently a male partner, right? You would think that that has nothing to do with me, but yes, it does, because the second that man treats you wrong, you're over here up in my ear talking about if I were a boy, even just for a day, I would date you. I would. Do you know how many times I've gotten if you were a boy, or if I would date you, or if I were gay, I would date you? At this point, stop. Because straight women don't think like that. If you were truly like 100% straight, you would not think to yourself, this is a possibility. This is a possibility. Like, and the fact that they tell me as if I'm supposed to be like flattered, as if I'm supposed to be flattered, that you essentially say that I'm trying to interpret it in my brain, but I don't know how to feel about that. It feels like a throw in my face, like, hey, we could be in love. However, you're not deserving of that part of me, but a man is worth exploring that. And it could be like, hey, they just know their sexuality, and it's just, yet again, you just used my sexuality against me. And hey, maybe it's because I've never been a straight woman in a straight friendship, right? I've always been bisexual. And when I say always, unfortunately, I do mean that I've been a girl lover since I knew that you could like people. I remember back in elementary school when people were getting like boyfriends and all of that. I have the conscious thought of like, oh, you can date guys and girls. They choose to date boys. Which, by the way, that's a bisexual thought. You don't choose who you love. You just are, right? And my problem is with these ladies is like I don't want to be anybody's tester, right? I don't want to be the type of person to get my heart broke because you realize that you actually didn't like girls. But at the same point in time, you got with that man knowing that he fully was not your type, that he hated you, that he do not come over here and try to fight me. Do not. Because if you get in the water, they will try to kill you. At the same time, y'all are over here giving these men all the choices in the world with you, right? This man could be ugly, stinky, weird, no job, no life, no hobbies. He ain't even got friends because men don't want to hang around with him. And you give him infinite personhood. You give him that chance. You give him the, I don't know whether or not I like you, but you can still have the benefit of my doubt. But suddenly when it comes to a queer relationship, or even, I wouldn't have a problem if they were like transparent about it, being like, hey, I don't know whether or not I'm queer, but I know that I value and like you as a person. therefore I want to explore a relationship with you. But it's never that, is it? It's never that. It's never that, because them liking me as a person is getting filtered through their platonic brain. What they really see is a woman, or a person rather, who treats them far better than they've been treated. I treat people like I said, I love bad bitches. That's my problem. I love bad bitches. That's my problem. I'm literally making the Italian chef hands because the problem is I treat them with too much kindness, too much empathy, too much forgiveness, too much understanding, too much pliability. I become the perfect boyfriend because I essentially internalize that this is how a friend acts. Basically, like a partner that you're not doing, right? Basically, like a partner without an anniversary, essentially. And I had to break out of that real quick and be like, hey, I don't have to owe my loyalty to anybody who just is compliant with treating me like an extra point in their story. And it sounds like I'm getting emotional. What I'm really trying to do is like hold back a cough so y'all don't hear that, because that's nasty. And I hear the recording back and I'm like, oh girl, ooh girl, that sounds horrible. Y'all having to hear me like that's nasty. But you get my point, right? Of like, I get that a lot of queer women go through the experience of being hyper tokenized. And I never get to that point, bro. I always get to the point where they're like, I desperately want to be with you. Why are you not male? And I'm like, I don't know. I wouldn't have chosen to be a boy if I had the option. I don't. Unfortunately, I'm attracted to women, and that means I am attracted to my own body. I don't want the body of a man. I'd rather have boobs. Unfortunately, I'm no better than a man. I'm no better than a man. I too like boobs. But it's like, y'all are willing to give these men that have no option, no choice in your life, but even the concept of exploring queerness in a way that is emotionally fulfilling is terrifying to them, right? Because then when I start distancing myself because they become toxic figures or forms, I'm a bad guy. I'm a bad guy because I didn't let you treat me as if I deserve to be like a second place on your roster. Like, first of all, I am nobody's roster pick. If you tell me I'm on the roster behind such and so, I'm never talking to you again, right? Because if you have a roster, you need to keep that secret. Shh. I'm not one of those who you can weaponize your roster against. I'm not. I'm not. And even though I think it's incredibly appropriate and even necessary in this modern day to have multiple people that you are romantically or sexually, as long as you're being safe, entertaining. I think that's quite normal for human beings. However, don't weaponize the roster, or you will find that people like me are going to constantly step away. And maybe like that's because I'm trying to figure out where I want the windows, because this looks awful from the inside, even though it'll look normal from the outside. But it's like, do not tell me I'm on the roster, because number one, I'm bisexual, by the way, if you didn't know. I'm bisexual. Unfortunately, I do have interest in men. If you're a dude and you tell me you have a roster, I'm dropping you immediately. If you're a queer girl and you tell me I'm second place, I'm walking away immediately, because that's my roster. That's my roster. I'm either the number one pick or I'm not the pick at all. Unfortunately, I'm a little narcissist. I'm a little egotist. I can't say narcissist in that, because I'm actually very kind, caring, empathetic, and understanding, right? When y'all see me upset and angry, which by the way, upset is like a one hell of a stretch when it comes to me. I'm always turned up. Like constantly. I'm always turned up. I've always got smoke for somebody or something, and I don't think that's like a moral failure. I live in a world that has a lot of stuff going on. Why on earth would I not have an opinion about the stuff going on? Why would I not have a strong opinion, right? Why would I just have a weak opinion of what's going on? When I speak with conviction and passion, it's because I'm talking at all. Like, at all, bro. At all. At all. Like, if you watch my YouTube videos, you can see me spazzing out over my Sims too. It's nothing new. It's nothing new. But I just want to reiterate, like, how I appear on the internet is so much more, for some reason, open. What you're seeing is a direct form of my personality that most people in real life don't get. Like, if you met people in my real life, they'd say I'm shy, I'm very quiet, I'm like to myself, even though I'm very extroverted. Like, which is surprising because then I get on the internet and I'm like, whoa, 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 you know? Because that's just my personality. When nobody's watching, you can just be whoever you feel like. And if people on the internet are mean, you can just say that their mother is a insert blank blank blankety blank blank or blank blank. Need I say more? Possibly not. 1, 2, 3. I want. I'm gonna put a layer. Huh. Because that means it's gonna. If I put a layer here, and then windows, we're gonna have to make the actual layer up here to cover the top of these windows, because I'm gonna do a roof of some kind. A roof of some kind. Actually, we can put in little extra windows up here, and it will look nice, hopefully, because if it doesn't, I'm going to scream. And these are just like for light, you know, they're ambient. It looks funky. It looks real funky dunky, but we're just gonna roll with it. Stream of consciousness. Whew. And by the way, if you're commenting, I can't see your comments. Like, the full screen is the full screen, bro. I can't see. Just because, like, if I look at comments while I'm recording, I'm just going to watch the comments, and I'm going to watch for who, like, shows up and who's this, who's that. Like, it's too, what is it, compelling, intoxicating not to look at somebody the second they show up, but that's just gonna put you on the spot, and we don't do that. But like I said, in my relationships, I'm very kind, I'm very caring, I'm very accepting, I accept far too much because I think that I can outthink them, right? I think that, actually, should we make the roof purple? I don't think I have enough for that. We need to go get more. It's not like I let people walk all over me, because yet again, when you start walking over me, I'm not oblivious to it. I'm simply like, the way I was raised, right, is very much to be complacent when other people are like acting, speaking, talking, is be complacent, right? Be okay with whatever they're doing, and that sounds horrible, but basically co-sign on other people's actions and find a way to justify it, because if you can't, you're the one to blame for their actions not being justified, right? So it's like, in my personal relationships, I will not stay for mistreatment. The problem is I'll leave just without a letter of resignation. Unfortunately, I'm one of them people that ghost people, because guess what? Y'all want to know the harsh truth about getting ghosted? Y'all want to know the real for real, the real for real for real? Okay, it is because y'all do not act with the same decency of a communicative exit, because most likely by the time I'm ghosting you, I have already reiterated to you how many times about the problems we're having, and most of the time, because I, for some reason, I appear docile to others, they seem to think that whenever I communicate an issue to them, it's just a matter of opinion that they can brush off, and then they're very surprised when I take action anyways. It's like, oh, you thought that I was going to wait. You thought that I was going to wait for you to determine my happiness. Crazy. My mental illness does that. My mental illness says this person is no longer safe. You treat me like crud after I have treated you with empathy, kindness, and understanding, then we're no longer friends. And I can be fine with that. The problem with me, right, is that I can be friends and I can be okay with not being friends with people. I think that's my real problem, is that I am completely fine without people. I know I am, and that doesn't come from like loneliness, sadness. That comes from a place of self-knowledge, right? Because when most people are like, oh no, I don't want to be alone without friends, what they really mean is I cannot stand on my own 2 feet without somebody there telling me that it's okay to do that. I just, maybe it's because I know that I'm a girl's girl. I'm a true girl's girl, and I make friends wherever I go. Not only am I a girl's girl, I'm a pretty bitch. I'm a pretty bitch, okay? I can, in fact, find allies and camaraderie wherever I go. In fact, like I said, I have to stop myself from making friends when I go out. I have to restrain myself from asking for other girls' Instagrams and to go out to eat or to go out. It's a problem. It's a problem because I'm over here thinking that this is a regular friendship, but they're over here thinking that this is a lifeline. And I'm like, hold on now. Hold on now. We've known each other for what? A couple months, and you already think that I owe you something. Like that whole conversation about like, if you want friendships, if you want, like, you owe them. You owe your friends something. You do owe them. And it's like, here's the thing. Owe is a very odd word to use when it comes to friendships. You should not have to owe not a damn thing for a platonic relationship. That is y'all in relationships with men demanding that every relationship you have prove that its transactional nature is actually normal and sustainable. And it's like, no, I actually don't owe you my loyalty. I give you my loyalty because we're friends and this is mutual compromise. I don't owe you kindness. I give you kindness because we are friends and that is the relationship we are maintaining. I don't owe you gratitude. That is something that comes simply by the virtue of being here. And it's like, bro, even me, even the person who will get up in the middle of the night to come pick you up because you got a flat tire in a dangerous area, right? Even me, even I have my limit, right? To be like, you owe me something. You owe me your loyalty. You owe me your communication. You owe me the healthiest version of yourself in order to be my friend. That is essentially what's being said, is I am owed your best self because I cannot handle anybody else's worst. Right? I cannot handle when other people are also going through things. Because this whole conversation started from people being like, hey, sometimes I get so depressed that I don't talk to my friends for like weeks on end and we kind of fall off. And I'm very sad about that. And y'all immediately turned it into, you're being a bad friend. You're not communicating. Well, I don't give a how depressed you are. You're gonna talk to me. And it's like, I said this on my witchcraft channel, but just in case I need to say it here, when people are severely mentally ill, they don't care about you. They don't care about you. They don't care about your friendship. They don't care about your life. They don't care about kindness, camaraderie, history. When people are depressed, they don't want to be here. Yes, that does include with your friendship included. And I know it's like, just reach out and get help. Well, why don't they just reach out and get help? Because it's a mental illness, love. They don't want help. They don't want to be here. So if I don't want food, why are you suggesting that I just put my leftovers in the microwave? When the problem is, I don't want the food. I don't want it. I don't want it. And by the way, I find it so funky and interesting that y'all are having the you owe me friendship even in the depths of your depression conversation, right? I find it so funny when y'all are like that. But when people have mental health issues right there in front of your face, they're a Debbie Downer. They're bringing the mood down. Why are you always crying? Why are you always low energy? Why are you always sad? You're such a buzzkill. You're ruining my mood. It's like what you're saying is I'm not allowed to be your friend unless I've already proven that I'm a good enough human to deserve friendship, right? I owe you all this crap, right? And you say that this is an equal exchange when it's like, no, I don't owe you my best when I'm feeling my worst. How about you notice when somebody is missing for weeks on end? Huh? How about you notice? How about you fucking notice when people are gone? Are gone for weeks and weeks on end. Nobody's talking to them. Nobody's seen them. Instead of getting in your feelings and be like, I'm lonely. I'm lonely. My friend won't talk to me. How about you go knock on their door to see if they're still alive? How about that? How about that? It's always, why don't you reach out to get help, and never how could this have been prevented? It's always, why didn't they just reach out to get help when the help that they needed was being cried out for? I'm not gonna lie to you. When people are in the depths of their depression, you can see it in their face. They become shells of their former self. And guess what? That's not a bad thing. That doesn't mean that something's broken or wrong with you because you can't keep up with relationships. That's the definition of mental illness, is that you can't keep up with your friendships and your relationships and your daily life and things that are enjoyable to you because you want to DIE. You want to DIE. You don't want to be here. Friends be darned. Friends be darned. Right? And it's these people who think that they have this overinflated sense of self-worth in other people's lives. It's so odd. Like that, it's not just that, right? It's not just the you owe me perfect communication, you owe me loyalness. First of all, what is this song? Undefeated, undefeated, undefeated. Oh, my college. Girl. Girl, what the? Fast track, full term, full term. What the hell do you mean I'm in a fast track class? What do you mean? Girl, what do you mean? Girl, they said you've got 2 months to get a good grade. What? Full term. Undefeated. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. But no, it's not just people demanding that you keep up communication with them even when you're in bed wishing that you weren't here, right? It's this automatic belief that you should consider other people before yourself. And I'm like, I don't know if y'all know how depression works, but it's when you don't care. It's not a conscious uncaring. It is your brain chemistry literally working against your emotions, being like, oh well, since it's so bad here, we're gonna leave. How about that? We can leave, right? We're in a survival situation and it's bad, so we need to leave, right? And it's friends that think they have some type of entitlement to your life that will pull you into the depths, into worse depths than you have ever been. Because guess what? Those same exact friends will never want to hear about any of your issues. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. Those same exact people that are like, you owe me essentially a relationship on wheels, are also the same people who will not listen to your problems, will not hear it. And I'm not talking about like just quote unquote boy problems either. I'm talking about general life issues. They're just like, oh hell no. Oh hell no, do not talk about that. They're always on this don't ruin my good mood, but when you don't want to be a victim of their good mood, they're like, how dare you? How dare you not want to be my friend? How dare you not show up for me perfectly? And all I hear is a trauma echo, right? All I hear are people who did not get attention from their parents, who felt as though that they should have been owed more attention. And maybe you were. You probably were. I'm not lying to you about that. But what I'm saying is, a lot of y'all come into friendships with these unhealed patterns of behavior, expecting your friends to become your new mommy. You expect your friends to become the relationship that your parents couldn't sustain, right? And maybe that's why in my own trauma, I do not expect friends to show up as quickly and clearly for me as I do for them. That's reliving my own trauma pattern. I needed an axe. That's me reliving my own trauma pattern. But y'all demanding to be a, and it's abrasion, right? Maybe it's abrasion on my part, because I really hate when people make me feel like I'm collapsed within my life, and that's what I need to accept from them. And I keep mentally going around a situation I want to talk about so badly, because it would illustrate my point so well about how this woman was over here, like, I can't even talk about it because I know I'm going to spiral into anger, talking about how I gave my friendship and it was immediately abused. Immediately. By the way, y'all need to stop telling people in your personal life about it. That's another thing. That's another thing, right? I get telling people about your friends. Okay. I 100% do. But how come every time I come around your family and your other friends, they're over here saying, yeah, we heard so much about you. Oh my gosh, we already know about you. I'm talking about, girl, I'm talking about they pop open their phone and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, Syed's here with me. And I'm like, okay, girl, by the way, if you don't know, hi, that's my name. Don't wear it out. They're like, oh yeah, they're here with me. They're here with me. And their parents are like, oh yeah, oh hey. I have in every friendship, right? You cannot call me a bad person, a bad friend, somebody who isn't communicative, somebody who isn't caring, right? Because in every relationship, in every friendship, I meet the parents, I meet the friends, I get inducted into the circle. So I must be trustworthy somehow, huh? And that's what pisses me off. That these girls behind the scenes are over here treating me as if I'm their secondary boyfriend, talking to me, to their parents, to their friends and family, like talking about, oh, I'm always with her, oh, I'm always with her, oh, I'm always with her, oh, I'm always with her. And yet we're not in a relationship. We're not in a relationship because you couldn't fathom being treated well, right? You couldn't fathom genuinely being treated well and then receiving an appropriate response when your own toxicity comes through. And like I said, I'm not the perfect partner. I'm a simp. I'm a simp for women. Duh. I'm a simp. That's what makes me different, okay? I don't assume that I'm a whole and first of all, I don't assume that your life should revolve any part around me. In fact, I expect to be the like an extra like side note in your life, right? But these people come into mine expecting that all of my life experiences need to be perfectly tailored to fit them inside of it. Like, it's like, girl, oh my gosh. And that's kind of why I don't have female friendships as well as male friendships. I don't keep friendships because the problem is, I'm not gonna say like quote unquote I'm too good of a person. It's that I know how to treat people. I'm conscious of how I treat people. I'm conscious of other people's emotions, right? I'm self-aware. I'm self-actualized. I have hobbies. I have a life outside of the people that I know, and I actively maintain that. I am the good boyfriend. I am the good person. And I honestly, you know what? We need to stop discounting ourselves for the good partners that we can be simply because somebody took advantage of that. Because here's the thing, I would not be making friends constantly, be constantly finding camaraderie with others simply because I'm an unlikable person. No, duh, I'm likable. There's an Enderman out there, by the way. Should we go? I don't have a proper sword. He's gonna hit me. He's gonna hit me for real, and then I'm gonna cry. But yeah, the main porlum is that I do my allow and accept far too much. And now I'm in a state where I don't want friendships anymore. I'm tired of being taken advantage of, so I stopped being the one who gets the advantage taken of them. You can't take advantage of me and my friendship when I'm here in my house playing Minecraft on stream. You cannot demand that I attune my personal opinion to skeleton rattles. Closing that door. Where do you spawn? All these big windows. A skeleton just rattled, and I have no idea where it is. But queer relationships are a trip. Queer relationships are one hell of a trip. Because even though there's no man, there's still misogyny. And you're like, huh? What? And then these girls will treat you just as bad as they want to treat these men. But it's like, here's the thing, you're treating me, I guess, like, it's like them taking out their revenge fantasy of like, oh, I had this bad male partner, so now it's my turn. It's my turn to be the bad male partner or something. I don't even know how to explain it. But what I am saying is, I'm very sick of being a queer woman who expects platonic friendships and immediately being turned into, you could be my substitute boyfriend. Like, huh? What? There is no possible way that I just happen to be friends with every queer woman in a 100-mile radius. There's no way that every friendship that I make is with a closeted queer woman. There's just no way. Like, not one of you is, like, genuine. Like, not genuine, like, oh my god, we're the real bitches. I hate when people say, like, oh, people aren't authentic anymore, they're not real. Oh, people are authentic. They're showing you a version of themselves that is violently authentic, right? It's just not pleasant. And I forgot where I was trailing with this point, yet again. But it's just like, why can I not find straight friends? Why? Why is it always the closeted queer girls who are taking out their heterosexual relationship trauma on me? And the whole time I'm just like, oh, this is just a friendship that somebody is, this is a relationship that somebody is using to heal, essentially. And I accept that. I maintain that. That's fine. But it's like the fact that our friendship can never be anything more than something for you to get off your chest is what angers me into not wanting to be your friend. Suddenly, I'm getting talked to crazy like I'm your man, talking about, I told you this. Yeah, well, I said that. It's like, oh, so you think that I'm your man. That's interesting, because I'm not. I'm not. Do not give me ultimatums and talk to me like I'm your, like I'm, see, I was about to say the N-word, and y'all were about to be like, oh my god, oh my god. But by the way, I hate them people that are like, I don't even think black people should be saying the N-word. Okay, congratulations, Nick. Congratulations, NIGGAA. Nobody cares that you have a weird political stance on something that just embodies black history. Like, to be like, I don't even think black people should be saying it. Okay, I don't care. I really don't. I really don't. Because as a black person, I think we should be expressly saying it. I think we should be reminding people every 2 seconds of the horrific stuff that happened in this country. Because guess what? Did it ever really end, or did it take a different form? Right? Did it ever really end, or did it just take a different form? That's the real question. But that's like a null argument, if you ask me. I feel like it's just a form of people policing, which I'm gonna say it. Some of y'all only exist to police others. Some of y'all only exist because you reincarnated from the Red Scare. And I mean that wholeheartedly. Some of y'all would have been giving away your neighbors for being communists. You wouldn't? I'm actively a practicing pagan. I would not have been able to. By the way, I'm never shy about that. I never care. Say exactly what you want about that, and I still will not care. Wait, what is that? I keep looking at it every now and again, and I think I'm gonna pop over there because I'm just about finished up with this house. Do you like it? Do you like it? This house has a lot of tumultuous commentary built into it. Why does it look wrong? Maybe it's because the second floor looks bigger than the first? Girl. I kind of like it. I don't plan on changing it. I'm looking around like I'm gonna change something. I'm not. Because, like, there's no... My building skill is not, like, crazy enough to do all that. It's like, it's queerness, it's blackness, it's... Bro, it's like no matter what part of my identity I try to explore, none of it comes with just the label. None of it comes with just... I don't know, just the state of being, bro. Everything has to be a controversial topic about my identity. You can't date because you have to watch out for both straight women and gay women, which, yeah, I have been... Can we say relationships? I'm not gonna call that a relationship. That doesn't deserve the dignity of being called a relationship. I have been in entanglements with directly queer women before. I'm not over here seeking out straightness. Like, I'm not one of those queer girls that's like, oh my gosh, I'm just attracted to straight girls. Oh my gosh, my type is straight girls. No, your type is femmes. Your type is femmes, and that's it. There's no need to call us straight. Ah! What is that? And I know what they mean, by the way. I know they're meaning my exact same situation of these quote unquote straight girls being like, I want to date you. I wish I could date you. Oh no, I'm not. Oh no, I'm not. And it's like, do you know that you aren't? Or have you just never been in a queer relationship that forced you to look at your own flaws first instead of immediately trying to live out some type of fairy tale? Because guess what? There is no fairy tale for queer girls. There is no running off into the sunset to have a white picket fence and some babies. There is no definitive clean end to the story. And while queer people can in fact adopt, they can have kids, it's not the same as being baby trapped, essentially. It's not the same as these women out here claiming that this man is going to be their end-all be-all for the rest of their life. It's just not the same. People don't view the fairy tale the same way. Like I said, I basically act darn near like a man in my relationships with how kind and caring and giving I am. And I don't mean that in like a nice guy way. I mean it in a genuine, I get to know you as a person and I now care about you as a person, and I can express that in an emotionally mature way, right? That's not the fairy tale. The fairy tale is me having a Peter Whacker and then causing them to break up with their current boyfriend. Because that's always the trend too, right? Nobody's ever single anymore. Nobody's ever truly single unless they're on a no date. Essentially a celibacy type thing. Or purposely deflecting from that, right? In their minds, in their fantasy minds, I need another boat. Frick. I'm gonna go back for a boat because, yeah, I'm that lazy. I don't want to make one now, actually. It's like, because I don't have like a Benjamin, so I can't get them pregnant. I can't like I can't do the white picket fence wedding, right? I can't present as perfectly as I act, so I'm just automatically disqualified. And it's like, honestly, I'm very sick of it. I'm very sick of it. It's like, while I am saying you know your sexuality, it also seems very odd to me that you wouldn't even try to be with a girl. Like in a relationship context, not just sleeping with her. But of course, then you would have to. What is this? Then, of course, you would have to grapple with the idea that outside of fornication and such, you are not a good partner. Most women are very needy, very clingy, very very attention oriented, and that's not a bad thing. It's the And that's not a bad thing, but it is a bad thing when you demand to be satisfied. Oh, I don't have a pet, but I should get one because that seems like that would be very useful. It's just like, bro, like not I don't get how these women can be like, "Oh yeah, if I could reasonably hypothetically see myself with you, I wouldn't like it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me of why you would think, "Oh, I don't think I would be attracted to you while bumping purses." Okay, so let's date. That's actually what you're excuse me? That's actually what you're supposed to do, by the way. You're supposed to date before you give your body to somebody. Like, I'm just saying. Why are there no beds in this village? Do y'all not sleep? I suppose not. I suppose not. But it's like, can you really not picture a relationship that starts with you not sleeping with somebody? Are you telling me that you genuinely have to sleep with somebody in order to know whether or not you can emotionally give yourself up to them? No. And I don't even mean give yourself up. I mean, like, girl, at least kiss me or something. Dang. At least give me a little forehead kiss. You don't even know if you like it or not. I sound like an incel, but it's really because I'm respectful and I keep my distance, bro. It's not like I'm over here like, you need to be with me if you're gonna be with me. No, no. I mean, like, actually date a woman. Actually hold hands, go out on a date, get to know each other in a context, right? Get to girl kissing. You don't even know whether you specifically like kissing a boy or that you just like or that you just like kissing. Duh. Like it's maybe it just seems obvious to me because I'm bisexual and I really could not find a reason as to why. Okay, these roller skates are shit. Oh, here we go. I'm trying to figure out how to work them. Oh my gosh. Essentially they work the same as like the boats. I'm like slipping and slide. Hey! Hey, get back here! That man stole my burger patty! You little oh my gosh, I can't even catch up to him. Get back here. Get back here. Get back here. Don't you laugh at me. He ate it. He ate it. I gotta get out of here before this man sees fit to eat all of my stuff. Get you. Gets demonetized for showing harm to animals. I didn't get back my meat, but I got feathers, so I got something. Oh my god, these roller skates are so cool. How do they look? Oh, it just looks like my feet. It just looks like my footsies, but essentially, like, it lets me slide like I'm on ice. This is fun. This is cool. Being a girl is going from lamenting about women not being emotionally available for you to being fascinated by some roller skates in a video game. Butts the house out. Butts. but like it's not like I have transgender feelings, right? It's not like I'm like life would be better if I was a male because oh no. No. Life would not be better if I was a boy. It would actually be slightly more unbearable in completely different ways. Um cuz I'm just a girl. I have my girl coping mechanisms. Huh. But it's like it's not like I'm asking these women to be queer for me. I'm saying that like I've seen the horrendous people y'all will date. And I'm just saying giving people chances is not something that you're foreign to. You could at least try. You could at least try. Like there are lesbians in this world that have at least tried to date a man at least once, me included, right? What is that? There are lesbians who have at least tried to date a man at least once. And yet y'all will be like, "Oh my god, I have all these horrendous stories of men and they're so horrible and but you don't want to even attempt to figure out if you're maybe queer. If all these relationships are making you miserable, maybe you're not meant to be with one of them, and maybe the only reason that you say that you're not queer is because of societal programming telling you that it's wrong to be queer. Have you ever thought of that? Have you ever thought that maybe if you would even consider dating a woman and being like, it would just be not so much easier, but if you can even picture it at all, because women who are like fully straight, they pay attention in their female friendships and they know, hey, it would not actually be easier to be in a relationship with these girls, but I love them deeply. And here's why. No, it's because you want to bump purses and you don't want to talk about it. Like, my goodness, this world is a lot more queer than you think. It's more queer than you think. Actually, I want to jump off. I'm going to jump off this cliff. This world is far more queer than you think it is. And I think because the popular consensus is that you're born, quote unquote, straight, that we know. Oh! Why did I hesitate so hard? Bro. Am I at my spawn? Yeah. It was missing or obstructed. Actually, I have it with me in my inventory. If I would just stop falling. Actually, I think the whole concept of sexuality is very odd to me. It's basically saying, I know how your genitals will react, so this is what you are. And it's like, oh, I don't get no say in that. I don't get like, because there are some straight women, right, that would date a butch. Because y'all are simply attracted to the appearance of masculinity. And my hand is not on the keyboard right now. I'm just slipping and sliding everywhere. But it's like maybe you're just attracted to masculinity, period. Not necessarily the thing attached to it. Look, if these men are adamant that they can change somebody's mind, I can be too. However, it's the problem of y'all going out in the world specifically to... And I've heard the horror stories of girls being essentially testers. Being testers, people being like, oh, I knew I wasn't gay. I just wanted to test you out to see how I liked you. And they're like, oh, so there it goes. Being essentially like, I am going to test my life on you, and that's so bad. But at the same time, the women I've met, it's like we're basically dating. I'm basically taking you out on dates. I am basically your man. For you to not give me the respect of even consideration. And by the way, I can say a million times that I don't hold these nice guy beliefs, and I do mean it. I do not mean that you need to bump purses with me whenever I take you out to eat. No, girl, I do mean emotional reciprocity. I do mean the real scary thing, not just bodies, okay? I demand something far scarier, emotional intelligence and maturity. Not using me as simply a way to offload the weight of your trauma. Oh my gosh. You have to actually be an active partner with me, not just... Because then the queer relationship I was in, that I could definitively call a relationship, that was initiated by me, right? And this whole time, this girl was like, yeah, my type is guys with like blonde hair and blue eyes. I just go crazy for blonde hair and blue eyes. I think it's just the cutest thing ever. Blonde hair, blue eyes, blonde hair, blue eyes. When I tell you I'm a black woman, look at me in the eye. When I tell you I'm a queer woman, and she's over here being like, yeah, my type is dudes with blonde hair and blue eyes. I'm a queer woman of color. And I'm just like, and by the way, yes, she was palm-toned. Sorry, no. She wasn't palm-toned. She was half Hispanic, and she'll never let you forget it. Never, because that's the most important detail that has ever existed, is that this white girl, who acts like a white girl, talks like a white girl, has no parts of Hispanic culture, still insists that you consider her to be Hispanic. Still insist, even though she herself is racist. She insists, even though she herself gets offended when you refer to her as. But no, how dare you? How dare you not consider her pasty tone to be part of the Hispanic community, even though it's like, girl, I don't even care. I don't even care. I don't even care. Just stop being racist. Stop being racist, and I'll stop saying that you're basically white. Claire. Ugh. Talking about, did you know that my name in Spanish means this? So it's basically a Spanish name. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Just because it has a translation that is very clear does not mean your name is Spanish. High school was wild, by the way. High school was wild. I feel like I blocked all those experiences out so I could like mature from them as quickly as possible. But when I think back, it's like, yeah, why did my French teacher find it appropriate to throw a Barbie across the room because I disagreed with her? Why would you find that an appropriate thing to do? Is what I'm questioning. I want to move this waypoint because it's obnoxious and in my face. I think we should go traveling to go find another waypoint just so we can have two of them. Two bad at the same time, at the same time, at the same time. Also, we need to go out looking for string and leather to make a backpack. By the way, hi, hello. If you're just joining the stream, I've come down off of several different rants at the same time. So I feel the need to reintroduce myself. This is Minecraft. My name is Soup. You're watching Disney Channel. That's just about it. Let's go collect the droppings from the whales, the offerings from the whale gods. Also, if you're just coming in, I can't see the comments. What you see on your screen is what I see on my screen. And what's interesting is that when I go back after the live to look at the comments, there's always one very kind-hearted soul that is engaging with me even though I'm not engaging with them. And it's like, I love you. I love you. But I'm also here to rant, not converse. But keep commenting. Because I love your input, and I do see it. Lights, camera, action, pose. Dun 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 dun. I am starving. Actually, since we built the house, I basically did something today. We can go exploring another day. We can go exploring tomorrow. But anyways, If you enjoyed this stream, if you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you later or tomorrow. Bye.